Live from fabulous Buffalo, Minnesota, it's Whiskey Trivia Night in America with your host, world-renowned bourbon reviewer and internet sensation, Greg Welch, and self-proclaimed Brown-Forman truffle pig, Ben Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Bourbon Note!
You gotta hit that one or change it so solo. And we are here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. What are you pointing at me for?
What's your name?
I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
But they know that.
Yeah, and tonight we're doing trivia. And so the very first trivia question of the night, where's your suit?
Dude, I'm not the kind of person who would wear a suit. A powder blue suit.
I think I get points for the suit.
Oh, you definitely get an extra point, and the points don't matter.
Okay. Well, I beg to differ. We got some people in the chat already. 15, all right. Great intro. Dollar General Bill Burr. Shredward is in the house. Sir Cuts, JT is in the house. Baby Blue Suit. Whiskey Wars is in the house. Crossfire Recruiting, Dr. Robert. Jeff Sly. Awesome. I love it. Okay. R-Dub is in the house. Thank you. All right, so let's get some comments up here. So here's what we're doing. We've got a new sort of format for Wednesday Night Lives. Not a permanent one. Occasionally, yeah. This isn't going to be an every Wednesday thing, but it's a new show. We're
going to give something a try. It may land and take off. It may crash and burn.
I think it's going to take off and soar. So here's how we're doing it. It's Whiskey Trivia Night in America. And so I happen to get this cool bourbon trivia game as a Christmas gift. Thank you, Danny and Preston. And so what we're going to do is Greg and I, for this first episode, this is going to be kind of like a test run to see how this works.
Hey, Sean.
But we're going to go on to the random wheel.
The random wheel of death.
Yes. And we have put our Patreon subscribers all on the wheel. And so we're going to spin that.
The random wheel of death.
The random wheel of death, yes. So I will be playing on behalf of one of our Patreon supporters. Greg will be playing on behalf of another one.
And whoever wins
is going to get samples of these two Wright County Whiskey Club store picks.
Yeah, so these are a local club that we are members of, and we're going to, we bought bottles, and they're basically store picks.
Yep.
And so we're going to send samples.
And they're both excellent. This is a Knob Creek, obviously, 120 proof. It's almost 10 years on the dot. It's off by a couple months, maybe. Mm-hmm. And this is Stellum Drambo. Well, this is the Knob Creek. I don't know if you can see the logos there.
Yeah, they're kind of wild.
Yeah. And this is Drambo. Sugar Kitty's in the house. And then, so yeah, this is Stellum Leo, 118.48 proof. And it's excellent awesome. As well. Yep. So whichever one of us wins, the Patreon feller that they're playing for is going to get that. So Sugar Kitty is in the house.
So Ryan, that's not CGI. That flame is 100% real. Don't ask me how, but it's real.
Then that hip thrust ball of flame. Ryan, it's actually a pelvic thrust if we really want to get technical. That's why I pay you boys each month. The CGI, you guys rock. Thanks, Enskizzle. We appreciate it. So here's the other thing.
Okay.
This show, so I don't have any way of, at least that way I know of putting keeping score on screen. I haven't gotten that adept at StreamYard yet. So we're going analog here.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so here are the categories.
The points don't matter.
Yeah, well, they do to one lucky Patreon supporter.
Okay. Yep.
So here are the categories. Pop culture.
So this is, I think, bourbon-related pop culture, right?
It's all bourbon-related. Oh, okay. Otherwise, the name of the game would be just way off.
Right, because I'm not going to do well in general pop culture.
Right. So it's pop culture, science and craft, history and lore, and then there's a cocktail-related category called Neat or Not.
Okay.
So, and one of the other things that we want to do at some point, we noticed that Whiskey Wars is in the house. So at some point, we want to also, instead of just me and Greg playing the trivia, we want to invite on and have a panel of celebrity bourbon reviewers to come on and play on behalf of our Patreon supporters.
Or maybe even
one of their Patreon supporters. So
you support one of your Patreons and go up against another channel.
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Battle of the bands, except it's channels.
Battle of the bourbon trivia. So, Sean, you've been put on notice.
That's right.
All right, we got some comments here. All right, they're talking amongst themselves. So one of the other things that we didn't know going into this is how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
So we each have 2 questions.
Well, we have 8.
Or 2 questions of each category,
Yeah.
yes. So we're going to get things started here. I wish I had like a little drum roll sound effect. I'm sure there's probably a way to do it.
Well, we could do anything if we had a staff, but we got to get there.
Yeah, let's see if I can successfully bring this wheel in.
The Wheel of Doom.
So I'm going to add to stream. Oh, look at that. It
Hey,
worked
look.
the first time. And I think if I just click on
I
it.
think you click right on the Wheel of Doom.
All right.
Are you seeing that? I should have my phone up just so I can
Yeah,
see
I
what it
think
looks
it's
like.
fine. Can you guys still see us when the wheel is on the screen? Yeah, that's just because I've moved into a different different thing here. So let's give it a spin and see who we've got. This is who Greg is playing for. Greg will be playing for David Williams, our longest running, probably channel supporter in general, certainly Patreon supporter.
Yep, and good channel friend.
Yes, great guy.
David Williams.
Okay.
You don't have to click remove if he comes up again. We'll just, I would, well, you can leave him. Leave him there. Just
I'll
in
leave
case.
it for next time we do
Yeah,
it.
right.
So, all
Okay,
right.
it's-
drum roll.
We can see us in the small.
Okay. I will be playing for Stephen Joss. That's how I pronounce your last name, Stephen.
Since we've never met. So I'm assuming that's how he says it, but I'm not sure. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you don't actually have to be in the chat, so it's okay.
Did we put a message out to our Patreon supporters that we're doing this?
Such a good idea.
We probably should have.
Next time.
Right. So none of our Patreon supporters that aren't here in the chat know.
When we do this actually live instead of a rehearsal, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, right. All right. Congratulations, Stephen. Stephen does hop in the chat quite frequently. So
yep.
I don't think anyone can miss the suit. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why if you're gonna host a game show,
yeah,
you got to bring it. That makes me the host.
Oh, I totally
if you
agree.
want
Yeah.
an official host title, like we share it on the Bourbon Note, but this is Whiskey Trivia Night in America.
I really feel you need the whole Bob Barker microphone with the
No.
super long pole and the weird looking. Yeah.
No lie, I actually was going to look into that, actually getting one that could hold it.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So, all right. Well, should we get into the trivia here?
Yeah, let's give it a try. We have no idea how this is going to go.
Category number 1. And so let me write down here also. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly. Mike on a stick. It's just probably not as good as cheese on a stick, but we're going to start somewhere.
Is that something you can get at the state fair?
A mic on a stick.
I'll bow out of my hopes with dignity. Is that from something else? Or
is that a reference?
All right. So, category number 1, pop culture.
Okay.
This is question number 1 for Greg. This is a multiple choice. Are you ready?
I expect I'm going to do as well in my trivia as my blind flights where I get everything wrong. So
well, you've done pretty. I think you're a little more. You're hard on yourself with the blind flights. You've done all right. What bourbon was featured in Hunter S. Thompson's 1971 novel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Please don't. If you have an answer, please don't put it in the chat because we can see the chat. Actually, you know what? We're not going to see the chat for a little bit here. So talk amongst yourselves. We can't see it.
I want to see the chat. I want to phone a friend or I need some help.
Okay, I'm going to repeat that. What bourbon was featured in Hunter S. Thompson's 1971 novel Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Is it A?
So was it in the remake with
It just says the novel. It doesn't say anything about the movie.
Okay, because I've seen the movie, but it was quite a while ago as well, because that I think was with Nicolas Cage, right? I think was
No, Johnny Depp.
Was Johnny Depp?
Was Hunter S. Thompson, yeah.
Okay, well, then I'm thinking of a different movie. No, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp.
But I'm not sure what whiskey it was. Bourbon.
Well, that's it's multiple choice.
Okay.
Would you like to hear them?
Well, oh, sure.
All right. Is it A, Jim Beam, B, Bullet, C, Barton 17, Wild Turkey?
See, everything wants me to pick Wild Turkey, and that was where my brain went initially. It certainly could be Jim Beam, but I'm going to go with the turkey.
The answer is D, Wild Turkey. That is 1 point for Greg.
And 1 point for David.
And 1 point for David, yes. All right, now let's get the chat back in here. So here's what we'll do. I'll just exit out of the chat for when we're reading the question.
Did anyone throw it in the? I hope my name was on the. Oh,
All right. So now,
turkey. Yep.
go ahead. It's my turn. Upper left should be.
Wait a minute there. What's this, Sir Cuts? We can talk about them without them knowing.
I love it.
Okay, so top left.
Top left. Well, it'll say the thing, but it should be pop culture.
Okay, pop culture.
All right. Hit me.
Well, I gotta hit them too. As of 2022, what item do you receive when completing each of the 4 Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour regions?
Is it a multiple choice?
It is a multiple choice.
Okay.
As of 2022, what item do you receive when completing each of the 4 Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour regions? Your choices are, I'll say this once, but all 4 of A, B, C, and D have the same thing, and it's KBTCT, which stands for Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour.
Okay.
Okay, so your choices are a T-shirt, a tasting glass, a challenge coin, or a tasting tray.
I have no idea. I didn't even know this was a thing. So I'm going blind here. Well, I'm not going blind. This is a blind guess. A T-shirt, a challenge coin.
Tasting glass.
Okay.
Or a tasting tray. And I don't know the answer. I've not seen the answer either. I've covered it up.
We're going to have to put like a timer limit on this, like
Well,
a 10,
yeah,
15 second. All right, I'm just blindly guessing this.
Yep.
I'm going to say glass.
A glass.
It's tray, isn't it?
It's challenge coin.
Damn it. All right.
A challenge
Steven,
coin.
I'm sorry I failed you on that first one. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's awesome. Now that gives us something to
there are 23
shoot
distilleries broken down into north, central, western, and bluegrass regions, and it takes at least 5 days to complete.
Wow.
So now you know.
And you get a coin at the end, a challenge coin.
For each one.
For each one.
Yeah, so for each, the north, the east, the west, and the bluegrass.
Okay. That's awesome. You know what? I forgot to grab water. I'm a little bit parched.
A little bit parched.
So I will be crushing a Diet Mountain Dew as I'm doing this. All right. So question number 2.
You have no idea.
I did write down 5 points for me.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
Oh.
Science and craft.
Science and craft.
Category
okay.
number 2.
So I've not seen any of these questions, so I have no idea where we're going. So I don't know to be scared or not.
We should definitely, what we could do to make this game take longer is you remember watching
I think we're doing a good enough job.
I know. That's
longer.
what inspired me to say this. Is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? They're like, question number 1, is it A, B, C, or D? And the person would immediately like, well, my father grew up in Kentucky and my mother was a hairdresser. I went to elementary school in the 90s. And they just start saying all this random crap that has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They're coached to do that, by the way.
I'm sure they are. Okay. Science and craft for 1 point.
I took a science class once.
All right. The portion of distillate that is volatile and contains methanol is known as A,
Angel share.
heads, B, hearts, C, tails, or D, highs.
I'm going to go D, highs. But it could be tails. I think the highs.
Final answer?
That's my final pathetic answer.
Your final answer is highs, but it could be tails.
Yes. I think it's tails, but I already said final answer, so.
That is incorrect. It's actually the heads.
Really?
Yep. This is going to really show everyone our deep knowledge of all things.
We need to go to the Kentucky.
Sir Cuts had it right.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard that before.
Yeah.
I've talked to a friend of mine about.
I have too, but
that's distilled some spirits. Will remain nameless. I'm not sure that that's illegal or not. So, all right. So, my next question should be right there. Science and craft.
Science and craft.
All right. Exiting the chat. Wait a minute. Why is this on here like this? Hang on. Screwed something up.
So we want to go that one, yeah.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Which type of still produces a lower purity but more flavorful distillate?
Not multiple choice?
It is multiple choice.
Okay.
A, drum still. B, kettle still. C, column still. Or D, pot still.
And this produces a what? What kind of?
Produces a lower purity but more flavorful.
I'm only familiar with column stills and pot stills, so I'm going to guess one of those.
Okay.
I'm going to say pot still, actually.
Winner, winner.
All right.
So, yep.
Steven, we're back in the game. Oh, so wait, you got to...
Pot still
Okay.
operates on a batch by batch basis and must be cleaned out after each batch.
Okay. That's interesting that it would be lower. Oh, yeah, we've got some answers here. People got it right. Pot still.
Yep.
All right. Man, I wish we had a drum roll. Next category is history and lore.
Oh.
So who knows where this one could go? Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. What brand name? Let's exit out of the chat here because people are going to have their opinions. Oh, for God's sakes, I keep doing that. Because if one button is right below where I'm trying to go here.
You had one job.
I know. I'm botching it. What brand name was inspired by an ancient Kentucky River crossing? Is it A, Wild Turkey, B, Old Crow, C, Rabbit Hole, or D, Buffalo Trace?
I'm going to go with Buffalo Trace.
Final answer.
That's my final answer.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. It is Buffalo Trace. So that's another point on the board for Greg/David.
David Williams.
All right. I should be using my red marker for this. Let's do that. It'll be less confusing for me. All right, let's get back into the chat for a second here.
So history and lore.
Tatanka Trace, Buffalo. Everybody had the Buffalo Trace. All right. And apparently a pile of dog poop from Shredward. I'm not sure what.
It's Buffalo.
Okay. You didn't like Buffalo Trace. Okay. History and lore. For me and Steven.
For Stephen and you. History and lore. Prohibition ended in 1933.
Mm-hmm.
By 1937, how many Kentucky companies were competing to get their bourbons to market? It's multiple choice. The choices are A, 67, B, 129, C, 311, or D, 530.
Wow. How would anybody possibly? So this is one that just has to be a random guess because who would possibly know this?
I actually did know this, but I saw it on a documentary.
Oh,
Like after Prohibition, people went crazy.
yeah, but I'm tempted to go with one of the two highest ones, but at the same time, I feel like those are almost there to like bait you into going high. I'm gonna go with what was the B 100 and
129.
So I'm just trying to think like how many people were like population back then. I'm gonna go 129. Final answer.
530 is the correct answer.
I couldn't have been more wrong. Son of a.
It was crazy times in the whiskey land.
Okay. So far it's 2-1. Steven, I am pulling for us. We'll do better on the next one. Hopefully Greg crashes and burns on this. So what was this? Oh, Bad Axe Bourbon is in the house. Dr. Robert had that one right. The biggest one, Wolfie.
Yep.
Whiskey Wars. I got nothing on this one.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So,
final category. Now, this is a weird one.
Okay.
This is called Neat or Not, and this is based on cocktails,
See,
which I know nothing about.
I don't know a lot about mixed drinks, so I'm going to do poorly, but I've done poorly on everything else. So
all right.
I'm going to do the
Are you just talking about life in general? Or
yes.
Because you're beating me in the games. You're doing pretty good. I mean, not that it means you're doing well that you're beating me, but at least you're winning.
Okay.
So, you know. All right. So For neat or not. Oh, it's a true or false. So
Oh.
that's good.
False.
Today's Four Roses, Blanton's, and Jim Beam have the unique connection that they are all owned by the same parent company. Okay, I thought these were all about cocktails, but apparently they're not. So true or false? Today's Four Roses, Blanton's, and Jim Beam have the unique connection that they are all owned by the same parent company.
I don't think that's true.
Well, it's a true or false question, so that's well within your rights to say that.
So I think it's false.
Final answer.
Yeah.
It is false. All right. That's another point on the board for Greg, who is killing it. All right. Neat or not.
Neat or not.
And that will bring us into round 2 after this.
All right. Neat or not, what brand annually releases a special commemorative bottle in conjunction with the official sponsorship of the Kentucky Derby?
Woodford Reserve. Is it a multiple
Really?
choice?
It is multiple choice,
Okay.
but
But can you read me the choices? But I think it's Woodford Reserve because they sponsor, right?
but I'm confused because I think you're right, but I also know that I own a commemorative bottle and they have
Oh.
other ones every year from another brand. That I feel like there's more than one brand that does this. That's why it's so hard.
Yeah, doesn't Makers do like the Mick
Exactly.
Julep? Like, I better
Yeah.
close out of here.
So
So-
your choices are Bullet, Makers, Woodford, or Heaven Hill.
Oh, well, Heaven Hill is not just a brand. All right, I'm going Woodford Reserve. Final answer.
Yeah, you're correct.
All right.
So I'm guessing the Makers is just a tie-in.
It's just the mint julep thing, right?
No, I have a blue bottle that's like the American Pharaoh, and every
Hmm.
year they have a different horse one, and it's absolutely a Kentucky Derby thing. But the official sponsor of the Kentucky Derby is Woodford.
So I was completely wrong about those being cocktail questions because remember we played around with this on a previous live stream when I first opened this,
history, but
and it
whatever.
was all cocktail stuff
So what is Whiskey War saying? Makers does.
as well, but they aren't official.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Jonathan Marty got it right. Welcome to the chat, Jonathan.
Yep. I think
Yeah,
everyone's kind of like.
Woodford. OG Bricks in the house. All right. Woodford gets credit for the sponsorship. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally.
Okay.
All right. So round 2
So this is round 2
of 2.
of 2.
So we're 22 minutes in. I mean,
We
so I think we're about right on number of cards.
Yeah, as long as we keep yapping in between questions.
Exactly.
Pop culture,
Okay.
round 2. Okay. And this is a multiple choice. Let's get the full screen here. What bourbon brand was featured in a July 2022 segment of Fox and Friends? Is it A, Buffalo Trace, B, Jim Beam, C, Bullet, or D, Jack Daniels?
I thought it was Pappy, but I don't watch TV at all. But I saw a reference to someone like killing a bottle of Pappy on TV.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could say, which obviously would be BT
So you're going with
Buffalo.
Buffalo Trace. Final answer. That is incorrect. It is Jim Beam, great-grandson Fred Noe, and great-great-grandson Freddie Noe were interviewed in the segment.
Oh.
All right. So that's
now you know.
I've got a chance to tie it up here
And knowing's half the battle.
for Steven. Okay. Yep. Let's hop in the chat here and see if anybody got that right or if anybody guessed. Bullet just guessing. And they're talking amongst themselves.
Yep. So no one knew that one.
Maybe I should pay more attention instead of just blasting in the comment section. I don't know if they're talking about these comments or a different one.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, let's get on to category number 1, round 2 for me and Steven. Oh, for the love of God, I did it again. Why does this keep happening to me? Why do bad things happen to mediocre people? Okay, hit me with the question.
Why did things that happen to stupid people keep happening to me?
Happening to me. What is this? What this is all about?
It's a Simpson reference if anybody's unaware. A line from the 1975 American Western film Bite the Bullet inspired what song? A, Beer for My Horses. B, Broken Whiskey Glass. C, Streams of Whiskey. Or D, Friends in Low Places.
So this is just a complete guess. What are the names of this? What was the name of it? Just reread the whole thing,
Okay.
could you?
A line from the 1975 American Western film Bite the Bullet inspired what song? A. Beer for My Horses. B. Broken Whiskey Glass. C. Streams of Whiskey. Or D. Friends in Low Places.
Well, you would be inclined to think that it's a whiskey-related song since this is bourbon trivia. But
This is pop culture.
it's pop culture related to...
Yeah, sure enough.
The only songs... Isn't there a song called Beer for My Horses? And obviously Friends in Low Places. I don't know if those other two are songs. I'm just going to guess Beer for My Horses because it's the only other one I know.
Wow. Complete guess, but that is correct.
Ah, nice. Steven, we have tied it up. All right.
Let's see who got that one.
Well, we've got some musicians in the house.
Friends...
In houses of ill repute.
Yeah, Streams of Whiskey. I didn't know that. Yeah.
All of them sound like they're about to shoot.
You're anti-country music. That's all that is.
All of the above. Bobby guessed Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Did I win? No, you didn't win. Go drink some more sriracha. And sriracha.
Bobby was killing it in his live stream last night. I wasn't able to watch, but I popped
for
in a
3
couple
hours
times.
of
Yeah, we had
misery.
like 75 people in there. He's giving stuff away. So, yeah, awesome, Bobby. Oh, look at that. Wolfie says, good job. Thanks, Wolfie.
All right. Oh, I asked a question. It's you to asking a question time, I think.
Yes. So now we are at question number 2, round 2. Let's exit full screen. All right. Got that on the first try there.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Science and craft is the category.
Ooh.
Which type of still produces less flavorful but high proof distillate?
I'm going to go column.
Final answer. Do you want to hear the...
You're going to say the options, and I'm going to say column.
All right. You know what? I'm not even going to say the options because I'm going to give you this one just like you nailed that right off the bat.
I think it's column.
It is column still, I think. Yes, bam, column still. Without even hearing the choices.
Well,
They're
so
the same
was
choices.
it drum and...
Column, kettle, drum, and pot.
Yeah.
All right.
You too can play Science and Craft. I'm sure everyone was pretty...
Oh, we got a little super chat there from Crossfire Recruiting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So glad that you know the best one yet. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch the rebroadcast of that. So, hey, just real quick, are you guys enjoying this? Like, is this something we should keep doing? And have, since Bobby's in the house now too, our celebrity bourbon reviewers go head-to-head for members of their community?
That's a good idea.
Put it in the comments. Please comment on that. Like, do you want us to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
this more or less watchable than a bourbon review?
than our normal live streams. Okay, so next one for me is
Science and Craft.
Okay, science and craft.
What cut of a distilling run has a funky vegetable taste and contains little alcohol?
Oh wait, I gotta exit out of the full screen. Is it multiple choice?
Yes.
Well, you waited like 20 seconds.
I'm letting you think through the question.
Okay.
What cut of the distilling run has a funky vegetable taste and contains little alcohol? Heads, foreshots, hearts, and tails.
I'm gonna say tails. I should brush up on this, but
Wow.
is that correct?
Tails refers to the fused alcohol that are concentrated and occur at the end of the distillation run.
So correct?
Yeah.
All right. We've got ourselves a tie game here, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Category number 3. Let's see if anybody got that or if anybody's commented on whether or not they want us to keep doing this.
Tails.
Tails. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, Dr. Robert wants us to keep doing it.
All right. Everybody seems
This
to
is
think...
fun content.
Nice.
Bobby's in. Wolfie
for
likes it. Crossfire likes it. All right. Sweet.
Wormwood.
Yeah, they're talking about absinthe.
Oh,
I
nice.
gotta get a hold of some of that.
No, thank you.
Like the real stuff. Makes you see like fairy dust and
Go blind.
yeah. They maybe used to. Okay, so now we move on to question number 3 of round 2, history and lore.
Oh, that's you asking.
It sounds like everybody got the tails right on that. makes me feel less intelligent. Not that you guys are not, but like everybody got it right.
Mhm.
You know, just can't win. Anyway, history and lore. Which constitutional amendment ushered in the end, or which constitutional amendment ushered in the era of prohibition? Second Amendment, 18th Amendment, 21st Amendment, or 24th Amendment?
I don't know the number. I think 18th, but I don't know why.
Is that your final answer?
I have no context. 1919 or so? 18th Amendment, I don't know.
18th Amendment is correct. Greg,
Wow.
I'm slamming home with the points. Let's see if anybody, well, I know nobody in this audience put Second Amendment. That's for damn sure. Dr. Robert got it right.
So, Wolfie, that's what I was
Jonathan
thinking,
Martin got it right.
but I wasn't very confident.
18 started and 21 ended. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You were right about the 1919. How can we, Ryan Frank says, how can we get to like other people's comments? That I don't know.
So,
yeah. Aren't we supposed to be putting wrenches out or something? I don't have YouTube up in the other thing, so I don't know how to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we need to. I don't think I can do it either.
Well, let's get to the end of the game here.
Okay, and then we'll play around with
and
that.
then we'll try to throw some wrenches out. We forgot all about that. All right, so question number 3 for me in round 2. History and lore.
History and lore.
You saw that time. I had that right on the spot there. And
That was
still-
wacko.
See? Look at, do you see that?
Huh.
I know this is making for just riveting content, but there you go.
Okay. What brand's name was inspired by branding used by pewter whitesmiths? What brand's name was inspired by branding used by pewter whitesmiths? Choices are Bullet, Maker's Mark, 10 High, Iron Strike.
I've never even heard of Iron Strike, but I mean, that's
Yeah, neither have I.
pewter iron. It was inspired by what? Can you read the question one more time?
What brand's name was inspired by the branding used by pewter whitesmiths?
Do you know what pewter whitesmith is?
So pewter's a metal,
well, I know that.
and whitesmith is kind of like a blacksmith where they like make stuff
Okay,
with metal. So it's some sort of like a crafting thing or like an industry.
Maybe Bullet, because Bullet, but it's not spelled Bullet. Isn't that somebody's name? Bullet.
think it's
What was the
someone's
last one? The one that had something to do with
Iron
metal?
Strike.
Let's go with that.
You're gonna go with Iron Strike.
Yeah.
It is Maker's Mark. I don't know why, but
Now that you mention it, I think I do remember Maker's Mark having a weird.
well, they have
story
that
behind
weird
it.
4
Yeah.
thing. But whatever.
Okay, so we're going into the final round here.
Okay. Well, let's oh, good.
Let's see if anybody else got the Red Stripe beer.
Maker's Mark makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
metal.
It
Maker's
makes-
Mark. Everybody got that.
Wow. Way to go.
I am a moron. That's not a comment. That's me just reflecting on. Okay,
Wow.
so here's where we stand right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for Greg.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 for me.
Okay.
Is that correct? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I have one more question to go, and you have one more question to go.
Yes.
So if I
All
get
right.
this right, I could seal the deal.
If you get this right, you do seal the deal. Because you're one ahead of me. I only have one more point to gain. So it does not get any more red hot, white hot competitive than this, folks.
Okay.
And you're all very privileged to be here seeing it happen
That's
live.
right. Live and in
Who
person.
needs the Super Bowl? Maybe we should do this on Super Bowl Sunday and just take viewers away from the Super Bowl, because people would definitely rather watch the white hot intensity of Whiskey Trivia Night in America.
I think so. I mean, I'll be here.
Neat or not?
Neat or not.
Are you ready? Let's exit out of here. I'm, you know what I'm going to do?
So I would close
I'm
that
going to
window.
get rid of this.
Yeah, because you don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I don't need this. We figured that out in the last.
And you clicked on the wrong one.
Oh my God. Are you seeing what I'm doing here? Like
So,
I'm clicking in the box here.
yeah, but you've added a thing that's not, we're over there. Don't click remove.
Okay, now I'm trying to go full screen.
Yep.
And it keeps selecting that thing below us. Okay. Need or not? Final question.
Okay.
No pressure.
Oh, there's plenty of pressure.
If you win this,
David wins.
David wins. If you don't win this, and then I get the next one, we're going into sudden death.
Sudden death.
I don't know if sudden death would actually work, but we're going into overtime.
Okay.
In 1987, a successful lawyer left his practice and fulfilled his lifelong dream of reviving his great-great-grandfather's bourbon recipe by starting what distilling company? Is it A, Bullet, B, Maker's Mark, C, Woodford Reserve, or D, Heaven Hill? Dun, 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 dun. That's what we need is the sound
I
effect.
genuinely thought it was something else. I'm glad I didn't.
Well, you're free to guess something that's not on the list, and I would encourage you to do so. No offense, David, but I'm trying to win here.
Grey Goose vodka.
Incorrect.
Boy, the only one that can you read the list of them again?
Yes. A, Bullet,
Mhm.
B, Maker's Mark,
Mhm.
C, Woodford Reserve, D, Heaven Hill.
And what year? 87?
1987.
I think it's Bullet.
Final answer.
Yeah, I think it's Bullet.
Son of a, it's Bullet. Cue the applause. Greg is the winner.
Congrats, David.
And David is the real winner because he's going to get a sample
Samples.
of each one of these Wright County Whiskey Club barrel selects. They're both great. So let's see. But we're still going to do the last question.
Yeah, totally.
So we got kind of a mixture. Everybody's,
Some people guessing Bullet. Some.
I would have guessed Maker's Mark, to be honest, because that started.
Do you?
No, that was back in the 60s. Actually.
Yeah, I think Makers has been around.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought it was Rabbit Hole, but I think he started a little bit later. The 87 was a little bit too early
that's
for that.
right. I do
Yeah.
remember from when we reviewed those, but there was a story kind of like behind the whole
Yeah.
lore of that. Okay.
All right.
Well, Greg is the winner.
We will wrap it up with the final question that is going to be for the bin.
All right.
Neat or not, what cocktail is made with bourbon, sweet vermouth, and maraschino liqueur? And your choices are
Okay.
A, Paper Plane, B, Jockey Club, C, Escape from Alcatraz, or D, Brown Derby.
I thought it was like a Manhattan. Because isn't that?
The sweet vermouth is not. Yeah, I think that takes it out of the.
I thought a Manhattan was just bourbon and sweet vermouth.
I don't know.
I don't know what any of those cocktails are. I've never even heard of them. All right, can you hit me with the names again?
Wow. Okay, choices are A, Paper Plane, B, Jockey Club, C, Escape from Alcatraz, or D, Brown Derby.
Let's go.
Jeff's not wrong.
Urine on the Rocks. Yes, exactly. Let's go Escape from Alcatraz.
That was a good movie, but it's not it could be a cocktail, but it's not this cocktail.
I was just going with what Bobby said on the screen because I forgot to minimize it.
Oh.
What is it?
Jockey Club.
Damn it, that's the one I was going to guess. Bobby? All right. Well, I wasn't playing for the win anyway.
Okay, slightly sweeter than a classic Manhattan. The Jockey Club swaps out spicy rye for smooth bourbon. So Manhattan has rye instead of bourbon.
Oh.
So that's your difference. Yes, to the sweet vermouth and probably the cherry.
So I went to Mega Manhattan once not that long ago and I bought some sweet vermouth. And I don't know if there's like a difference in like quality, like good vermouth versus bad.
Yeah, I think, yes, there is. And I know nothing about that.
I don't either. I made the Manhattan. It was terrible.
So it's just city.
Awful. Hanging AZ is in the house. That is a jazzy jacket, Ben. Jazzy as hell. Thank you. That's what I was going for. I'm going for the jazzy game show host.
That's right.
So since you want us to keep doing this, that was the general consensus. I think
so.
people are still, the chat hasn't dropped off dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, crowdsourced public poll. Suit every time?
Only if you get the mic on the stick.
I will work on getting the mic on the stick. More like jockey strap. Yeah, that doesn't sound great, to be honest. All right, so final tally, Greg with 6 and me with 4.
Wow.
So Greg crushed it, knocked it out of the park with 2 extra points. So we'll put these in the scrap pile. Actually, you know what? We can keep using the same. There's very thick, deck of all of these, so we can get a lot of mileage out of them.
I think so. And we're going to have other people guessing.
Yeah, so we can recycle these. So, I mean, if people do come on the show and get the answers right because they've heard them before, well, then that's just the gift they get for watching our show so intently and regularly, So, what do we have? So next week, we need to do actually because are we going to go live next week?
Sure.
I would imagine.
When is the super, whatever it's called? What's it called?
The big game.
The sport ball game?
Yeah, you can't say it. I think you can say it on YouTube. So, well, we're not going to go live on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, well, we have Saturday or we have Friday or we can do Wednesday.
Wow, we'll do Wednesday like we do. Let's see, suit every single time. All right. Sir Cuts, I am inclined to agree with you. Some whiskey and vermouth don't always play nice together.
And it's awkward to say this, but I'm going to say it. It's not a complete suit, and I'll leave it there.
Boy, when you say it like that, it really sounds like we'll just leave it up to your imagination as to what's going on behind this bar. It's riveting. So anyway, maybe in the future we'll play for some more. Maybe I thought it'd be cool to kind of like do store picks or like barrel sucks because it's something at least that's different.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about what we should be playing for here? Any ideas for prizes and stuff like that? I think this went pretty well.
I think so.
I think we are talking pajama bottoms. I had to show it since Sir Cuts guessed it. Those are my lounge pants that I put on after work. When it's below 0 for as many days as it has been, I get it's flannel pants the minute I get home. And then I was getting ready for this. I was like, well, I don't have to put the pants from the suit on. There's just no sense in doing that. So yeah, this is what's going to be rocking every time we do this. So if you guys want to be contestants or part of the show, because one of the other things we actually talked about is inviting our Patreon supporters to actually be on the show, not just our celebrity bourbon reviewer friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Depending on their comfort level. Some people maybe don't want to be on the World Wide Web, but that might be a thing too. So if you want to join Patreon, you can do it for as little as $3 a month. You get the videos early. You would already have tomorrow's science experiment video available to you.
Ryan, the question is, how much is a llama head?
You can probably find that. Sir Cuts is pajama bottoming it too. That's awesome. OG Brick 40, Doug Stanhope in the making. I love Doug Stanhope.
I have no idea what that is.
He's an amazing stand-up comedian. He's fantastic. I have a great picture of me with Doug Stanhope and his wife Bingo from years ago, but it was awesome. But yeah, he rocks the thrift store suits on the regular basis.
Oh.
All right.
A red pocket square.
I think you guys should recreate maybe Running Man head into the Super Bowl. That's a great idea. Are you going to say the quote?
I'll buy that for $1.
Nailed it. I remember you said that one time in one of our reviews a long time ago. I was like, oh, Dynamite Running Man.
But I totally thought that was RoboCop. What's the I'll buy? I thought
wasn't it the host from Running Man that said I'll buy that?
I think it is, but I think Running Man. Well, I was thinking RoboCop also, but
Hanging AZ says a red pocket square would set that bad mother jacket on fire. You know what? That actually, do I have anything?
I'm actually a little bit ashamed you don't have an ascot.
Get a red. Does the color scheme work? Yeah, I feel like the ascot thing's already taken. I mean, at this point. Now, here's the thing: if Fred Minnick starts wearing a powder blue suit, we're gonna have a problem.
I'm sure he has.
I guess off the cuff, 18 and a half pounds. 7 pounds. Now we're in. There's got to be a way to find out how much an average llama head.
Well,
weighs.
no, it was in there. Someone said it was 7.2 pounds.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
And I read it on the internet, so it's got to be true.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add to this live stream before we sign off?
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's awesome, Evan. We had a steady stream of comments, and we love that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it that much more fun to do this.
Totally.
So we'll be back next week. Either we'll be doing maybe another episode of this. We've got our next tier of proof points that we've got to do on a live stream at some point, because we've kind of just relegated that to live streams now, I think. We seem to have fun doing them for the live streams. People like to join in.
Yeah.
So next time we do this, we'll either do the same thing or maybe we'll do Celebrity Bourbon Reviewer edition. Tomorrow's video, we've got a great science experiment. We bought some of those wood spirals, some of those bottle aging wood spirals off of Amazon, and we aged some whiskeys for a couple of weeks.
They look like this. This was a clear spirit a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's kind of looking like not clear.
So tune in to find out how that went. Also, before we end here, we kind of have an overflow of extra content. Sometimes we'll film, a bunch of videos at once, and we try not to let them build up too long, because otherwise, then we go to put them out and it's like, oh crap, we just referenced this in a video, but we forgot to put it out. Then we reference it later on and it doesn't make any sense. So we're going to throw out some extra videos tomorrow just to kind of clean the slate and get that out. So hit the bell so you don't miss any of that.
Yeah, extra videos tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much for joining us. You want to hit your sign off here?
Till next time. See you next time.